No Static Podcast. Yours truly, 1LQ. We got Coop in the building. We got Miles High in the building. Outchea Clone is in the building.
Beanee Weenee.
As always,
Beanie
you can subscribe, rate, review, listen, and share to your friends on the Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play Music, anywhere where you get your podcasts at.
I got a weird question. Are we on Tidal?
No.
We're not on Tidal?
The jury is still out as if Tidal does podcasts.
Okay. So we're not on Tidal.
The jury is still out on
Tidal
that.
does do podcasts. We're not on it. I checked.
Okay.
I have Tidal.
I'm about to put in my...
We're not on Tidal?
I'm about to put in my y'all mean for Tidal.
Hove. How you... Hove.
Listen, because the second we on Tidal, I want some of them duckies.
I'm just saying, Hove.
Okay. I'm definitely putting in for us to be on Tidal.
Thank you.
Is that industry playing podcast?
The Beanee Weenee podcast.
The Beanee Weenee.
In the meantime, you can follow us all on Twitter, Instagram, solid_gold_judo. The gold is for 6. Mile.high. Outchea the captain, and yours truly at Yep I Know Q. Go ahead, take us away, Captain.
Oh yeah, we didn't get to explain to Miles the Beanee Weenee situation.
Wait, if I say something controversial, you know, I already know who I am. Jordan, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So you know how important our coins are to us, right? So
Yes.
Michael Jordan turned down $1 million, all because he didn't want to say Beanee Weenee.
He didn't want to say it.
But I'm here because I want half of that'll be good for me.
Fuck half, bro. Slide me a $10
So-
bill. I'll say me
I'm
and
good.
some-
When did Mike give a good reason to why he wouldn't say Beanee Weenie? Because that's a good... I didn't ask that last time. Did Mike give a good reason as to why he wouldn't say Beanee Weenie?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, Tyler, we're not on it.
I'm gonna fix that. Anyways, so it's only been
Fuck it, I'm pulling the Monique. We boycotting Tidal. No, I'm playing.
Tyler been too
we ain't gonna do it like that.
Hove been too good.
Hove, you've been too good. We just lost it. I can't say it.
Nah, we need.
Nah, we boycotting title. You already know what it is.
Okay,
New Year.
he's boycotting Tidal.
Say, I'm not-
And Ho,
they already
and
got
Ho,
my
if you call us to
$9.99.
say I gotta check if y'all drop that nigga, Ho, we'll do it for free.
I'm not down on that hill.
I will.
Nope.
So
Got it.
Yeah, by the way.
listen, I'm excited about the very first thing on our docket. I have been dying to hear the Outchea clone take, or ever since I saw this earlier. Outchea clone, you feel some type of way evidently.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When we first talked about it and it happened, I couldn't exactly find the words on the day that it happened because
It was raw.
yes,
fresh. It was-
sometimes when you try to like process things, like they don't come out the way that they should, and I do completely understand like Sunday's energy, and I pretty much second a lot of the things that were said.
Okay.
And while yes, we are all angry and upset, it's definitely a bad situation, and even worse that we find out that it's somebody that he happened to be cool with.
Oh, that nigga was cool.
You know, go. That's
So that wasn't.
the story. Yeah, he didn't know the gentleman, but the story that I was given was that this, and I hate to say it like this. Evidently, this person was a known snitch and a hater.
Okay.
Literally described like that, and essentially, from what I found out is that the altercation rooted from Nipsey obviously being the kind of individual he was, saying, "Hey man, I don't want you around here, bro. I don't want you around here in my store, around my folk. None of that, bro. You got to get out of here." And unfortunately, and I agree with Charlemagne to this degree, male ego and rejection got involved. And instead of just taking an L or just going somewhere else, this man decided that the most reasonable thing to do was to slay a beacon of black hope.
Okay. Now that I'm better aware of that situation because I kept hearing like different things, but
They were.
Also, did we? Then what I did want to. Well, let me let you say this because I got a question after this.
okay.
About something LQ hit me with, like right after y'all left.
All right, cool. But I never really ultimately throughout this whole situation, I never really understood why people try to hurt the people who were sent to help, just because they may have been more fortunate to have earned and have had more to give. And when it comes to being able to go back to your hood and just give back, when you want to come up, something like that'll just startle you, just because we've seen this happen before. We've seen this with rest in peace Dobie, Chinks, Stack Bundles, the list goes on. But I mean, when it comes down to it, it's not really much that I could have added onto the discussion that we had about what we can do moving forward, because it's I think ultimately, most of us should know at this point. It's just a matter of acting on it. Mm-hmm. And we all know that we shouldn't ask black businesses for a discount. And shout out to Great Plates too, by the way, because that's the first thing that came to mind, because it's looking at those prices, it's some people that probably would think that it's high, but it's you're getting quality for the price. You go to Great Plates and get for what you get for.
Time and labor goes into that. Yes, crabs on the run. We gonna listen, man. We know you getting out of town soon, and we gonna miss you, girl. Girl, we gonna miss you.
Girl, good. Because if I wasn't,
wait, hold on. How much time I got before she leave?
You got till May 2nd.
Okay, so I can still order food.
You still order food till May 2nd.
Okay, crabs on the run. I gotta get it right.
Fish holds better than other meats do.
Yeah, that's a month from now.
Actually, that's really true. I've plugged up a lot of holes with fish before.
It holds up much longer. It carries salt better too, because of the scales. Fun fact of the day.
But nah, I ain't gonna hold y'all for too long on this. But I just want to bring up an interesting point, and I kind of had to learn it too myself, because I was ignorant at this at one point in the time. I remember being 13, and me and my cousin was having this conversation, and he was just he was talking about how we both love GameStop, but he was just one day I want to be able to own my own game store. And I was just thinking, and keep in mind, I'm 13, so I'm not really thinking through the things that I know now, but it's just oh snap, you get the discount, you know what I mean? But he was like, nah, can't. He was basically nah, I can't do the discounts, but I understand it now. And I do understand that in relation to Nipsey. Nipsey was definitely somebody that, taught us about ownership, owning his own masters,
been saying it
just
the whole time.
Being very wise in his thinking, But yeah, man. And I just didn't want to give people the idea that I didn't have anything to say on the situation, because I had a lot to say.
No, I completely understand.
It's kind of hard because I was sitting there going.
Yeah, we was in there snapping, and
because it's that one hit different.
It did.
It
bro.
did.
Let me tell you what, bro. I hit LQ about this later on. This was an assassination. That's what we witnessed. This was the first person in our generation who was a beacon for our community and our people, and we watched them slayed for that reason. And whether, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to say something that's probably not going to go over well. Old black going to feel like a nigga got shot. New black or current black or young black is going to realize, no, this man was assassinated. The fact of the matter is, one of the things I constantly tell people is that our generation, them mid, late 80s, I'm going to just say 80s on forward, we didn't get no Martin Luther Kings. We didn't get no Malcolm X's. We didn't get no Harriet Tubmans. We didn't get no Fred Douglass. We didn't, bro. We didn't get that, bro. What they gave us people from the absolute dirt and filth of our world, and they made sure that they made them harder and better, and they allowed them to rise. And you know what? No, we wasn't going to get them. We got Sean Carter's. We got Nipsey Hussle's. Say what you want, and one of the things I used to always get mad at him when he would get on there, because he's such an asshole sometimes, say what you want, we got Dame Dash. We got people who walked on both sides of the fence. The side you're not supposed to be on, because at the end of the day, you're a criminal, and the side that watched them make the migration to the side that we wanted to be on as business owners. Say what you want. I know, listen, bro, I be hearing a lot of people making fun of Tip because he wears glasses now and he be always trying to be prolific and shit like that. Like, think about that. It's niggas out here hating because the nigga decided, you know what, bro? Let me put a little bit more knowledge on here in my head than trapping and rapping.
And that's a big transformation, too, from what we saw him as before.
Say what you want. We got David Banner. If you have ever heard David Banner speak, it is amazing. Say what you want. We got Kevin Gates. And that's real. I'm going to say, I told people, I said, nobody thinks it's funny that almost everybody in our community, when I say the community, meaning amongst people of color, everybody right now that we willing to listen to and willing to some degree follow is somebody that either sold dope or went to jail. The reason why, because here's the thing. A Martin Luther King in this day and age would not have the same effect as it would then. Yeah. Maybe a Malcolm X would, but ultimately I think not.
Definitely a Huey Newton.
Huey Newton, maybe. The only reason why I said the only problem with Huey is that Huey would be trying to do something in a time and place where it's too much hate. The fact of the matter is, we lost two things. I watched as I kind of dug through history up into the current. We lost a lot of the ability to naturally love each other just for being people and being our people. Like, say what you want, bro. I had to start realizing this the other day, man. A lot of people talk about, oh, I want to get to the bag. I want to get to the bag. I want to get to the bag. And when they say that, they actually mean, I am trying to find the easiest, fastest way to an amount of money that is not long lasting. And I'm interested in doing this in a way that does not benefit anyone else but myself. And when you dangle that golden carrot in front of everybody, I've been watching. I even been watching people around me. I've been asking myself, I was like, man, who are the positive people around me? Who are the negative people around me? Who are the people that, in actuality, I've realized I stopped telling them things. Stop telling them my dreams, my ambitions, and the things I want, even if what I want is for somebody else, a positive things for somebody else. Who are the people that, in actuality, don't have positive things to say? Who are the people that, in actuality, are not interested in making the world around them a better place, and instead they just want to be rooted in misery? When I ask myself that, you'd be surprised how much you shrink your circle. We used to say this a lot back in the day. We was like, man, we know a bunch of motherfuckers. Our circle's small. Our circle might have been no more than like 5-6 people. We still fuck with them same people. We still in the same chats with those same people. And the weird thing about it is that nobody pays attention to is that we're not stopping to look at that. What happened is somebody took selfishness and dipped it in gold and then held it in front of our people. And now we got a bunch of people pursuing this thing. And they don't realize that what in actuality they're doing is they got you pursuing something that you perceive to be a positive thing. And in actuality, it rips everybody else around you apart. Like, as much as I hate this thing, I tell people all the time, man, one of the reasons why I think we love so much that 90s rap era of like gangster, and why I always consider that until like the early 2000s, like the real golden age, is because that was the last time you really saw amalgams of groups of black people together. Don't get me wrong, motherfuckers might be talking about shooting guns, selling dope, and fucking bitches, and a whole bunch of other vulgar shit. But think about it. Cash Money Records was huge. Okay? Rockefeller Records was huge. Def Jam was huge. Okay? Aftermath was huge. No limit. Like, and say what you want. Say what you want. Like,
Rap a lot, the list goes on and on and on.
I tell people, I said, you want to say what you want, bro. I still remember, it's a whole line for everything, bro. Hoes that I can't listen, bro. I came in this motherfucker 100 grand strong. 9 to be exact. from grinding G-Packs. Put this shit in motion, ain't no rewinding me back. The reason why, and I understand, bro, listen, bro, it's believe it or not, bro, because it's cats out here on these corners, bro. They not hustling so they can be a trap lord. They hustling because they understand, all right, bro, I got to get from point A to point B so I can get to the rest of this shit. And so I'm going to do what I got to do right now, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it the right way, and I'm going to go through whatever I got to go through. Nipsey paid homage. His life, when I look back on it, paid homage to a lot of things we don't have anymore. Patience, integrity, going around and not just doing something so you can come back and stunt on somebody that look like you.
That was another thing too that I was
like, what did niggas gain by doing that? I honestly, let me tell you who I hate when I really see it, bro. I hate when I see women do it, especially black women. Black women to me are amongst the most insanely gifted and wonderful creatures walking the earth. But I don't like the fact that what has happened, in my opinion, is that unfortunately selfishness, unfortunately the failures of male counterparts, and unfortunately all the bullshit that we allow ourselves to do and get into is not only torn them down, but help further divide them and us to the point that in actuality, bro, look at our schools. Look when you go to schools, bro. I picked up my nephew today, right? Yesterday. He got sick at school. When I walk into his classroom, it's one other boy. He's 4. And there's only one other boy in his class. Fuck is we doing, bro? Fuck is we doing? Let me tell you why that really freaked me out. He don't got girls. He got 5 children. Ain't none of them girls. That's not to say that to illustrate something that, women are. Listen, we need more women, if anything. But it bothers me that in actuality, the selfishness of one half of the gender is at least started helping them to rise. We can't even get the shit together to get motherfuckers into the part of the school, the base parts. Damn college, damn high school. We're talking daycare. Shapes, colors, 1 through 10. Morning, noon, night. The base thing you learn. And it's not a small class. It's more than 10 kids, and I'm watching him get it. And I remember I was making jokes because every girl hugged him when I picked him up before he left. Every girl hugged him. And of course, as a guy, you're like, but then when I got in the car and I was driving, I realized how weird it was.
Oh yeah. Listen, my youngest children are in daycare together. That shit be crazy. Little girl be like, Malcolm, come give me a hug before you go. I'm like, hey, hold on, little hoe, hold on, girl. Fuck you doing?
Bruh, listen.
You gotta give you a hug.
My girl almost said the same thing when I told her that. She like, mm-hmm. And she did her mm-hmm thing, and I was just like, at first I thought it was funny, like, you tripping. But then I really thought about that, man. I really, really thought about that. And the fact of the matter is, they're not positioning our women not necessarily to be independent. They're conditioning them to not need us. But we got a docket in the meantime. So,
sorry, Cap.
Hold on. First thing first. That ain't fair because I ain't got kids.
We still feel the same way about you.
But
you might listen. Listen. No offense. We realize that we can see Cap and y'all can't see Cap. Y'all can't see Outchea clone. Listen, Outchea clone is bound to shoot somebody club up in the next few days. And by shoot somebody club up, I mean, get a very nice young lady pregnant. Not literally.
We speaking that into existence?
If it's any consolation, we know you gonna mess up and do it.
Stop.
You actually.
There's so much loss of faith than me. When did this happen?
You been listen
over the past 2 weeks.
Oh,
probably.
listen. If it's any consolation, if we did the No Static Podcast yearbook right now, you are most likely the sauce.
Be specific. Come on, man.
Listen, Cal. You're young, all hetero. You're a nice looking guy, and like I told y'all 3 weeks ago, raw is law. It's bound to happen. Plus, that'd just be a good waste of light skin, bro. Just a good waste of light skin.
Colorist. He's just talking about division.
Exactly, bro.
All right, so, oh yeah, last week, what you were saying about me being a year in, and you had more to expand on that. Where were you going with that?
Okay, because I realized last week was episode 52. How many weeks are in a year?
Yeah, but we skipped 2 weeks over Christmas.
Okay, so, but either way, if I was like, oh, you're a year in, so episode 52, I was like, damn, we need to, we should have like dedicated ourselves to doing something, but we never dedicated ourselves to doing anything. But yeah, you were episode 52. For a lot of people, if you had a loyal listener from day one, they realized that I didn't hop on with you guys until what, episode 32, 33?
Somewhere in the 30s.
You know what I'm saying? I'm very blessed and highly favored that you guys allowed me to join this fantastic ride with you guys, and I hope that whatever I have been contributing has been viable to the growth and popularity of the show. Because at the end of the day, we're all about the content. But but to see that you stuck your guns with this and said, "Hey, I'm going to create something. I'm going to create something from scratch. I'm going to put this seed in the ground. I'm going to water it. I'm going to nurture it. I'm going to watch it grow." And you kept on with it. When I realized it was episode 52, I said, "Yo, this dude's been doing this for a year." And it probably started off with just you, maybe another cool homeboy. Then it ended up being you, that homeboy and Coop, and then that dude dropped off, and it ended up being you, Coop, and Miles, and y'all brought me in, and now we got this core four, or fantastic four, or however you want to label it. And I'm like, yo, salute to you all day, man.
Listen,
I do my best, man.
I just want to make sure that I personally give you your voices.
I owe you an apology. It dawned on me the other day that I realized the current format we in, I kind of forced. So when it all originally started, it was more kind of, I guess to say, panel style.
Yeah.
There were like minimum 5, so Outchea got us all together, and I think what happened was, and the funny thing is, I'm in episode 1 pilot, and I'm all of a sudden I'm going for like
he was going for like 15 episodes.
Then all of a sudden I came back and I never left.
And I do appreciate you for not leaving this time, because that was like 15. Even though they were great episodes, but it was just like there was no real direction besides like trying to just get something up every week, because it was something I really enjoyed doing. It was very therapeutic for me personally.
That's the thing. I like, we do this. Don't get me wrong. We doing this shit so we get a check eventually. But the main reason I do this is because it's therapeutic.
Same.
It's an outlet to just talk and say what I think about something the way I think, and can't nobody tell me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's kind of like that for me, because I remember the week that I came to y'all with the idea, and I was already thinking about it beforehand, because it was like I had just said like, all right, I'm gonna get a lot of my shit together before, because like at the time, everything was just, I wasn't in the best place, so it was just like, all right, I'm gonna start going to therapy. I'm gonna just start like doing all the stuff that I said I wanted to do.
Can I ask you something? Well, no. I'm gonna ask this later. Because then we're gonna be on a tangent, and I told myself that I'm gonna try to stick on subject more, because I'm segue to God.
So do we segue to God? That's a hard name, by the way. But do we want to jump on the old time? Did you hear the song?
No, God.
All right, I'm playing the song.
Cool.
That porch.
Nope.
Ain't nobody tell me nothing.
Listen,
Nope, this trap music.
Stop. Because there's no way for y'all niggas to love Post Malone and
That's exactly what I was about to say, bro. If you love Post Malone, go ahead and throw that shit in the same category. Because I don't care what nobody say. Post hard, and people be trying. Listen, I understand he ain't everybody's cup of tea.
But that's country music, dog.
But I fuck with Post. Loki, bro. I fuck with Yellow Wolf.
Did you hear Trump Music 3?
Trap Music 3?
Trump Music 3.
No, I haven't.
Okay, that just dropped. Speaking of Yellow.
But well, we'll get into that music. We'll get into our.
So
music
what's the actual topic about?
So
Is it a country song?
Huh?
Is it a country song?
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a country song.
but
You
it
know
is a
why?
country song.
But yes, it is a country song. But it's a country song because he said so. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Can
No,
we
it's
agree?
a country song because it's a country song.
It's got
I
country
don't-
elements for sure. That's undeniable. The issue is country artists are allowed to take trap elements and use it to rocket up the billboard with no issue. And don't tell me country's not using trap elements because I swear to
they
God,
are.
I heard them use that like pew, 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 and I heard them use hella bass. And one of them
Yeah.
Luke Bryan songs was I don't know if it was Luke Bryan.
No,
specifically.
no, it's a
But no,
Yeah,
that's
like,
bullshit.
it's a
Come on
legit
now.
country
Yeah,
song.
like I noticed that a lot, and even that Casey Musgraves album that won the Grammy, that was a pop album.
That was a pop album.
That was a pop album.
I mean, what, Taylor Swift's still on the country?
Yeah, but she does mainly. She been doing pop for
Exactly.
the
I was
longest.
gonna say she been.
She had a song with Kendrick Lamar. I'm
gonna be honest with you. I don't remember the country Taylor Swift song.
That's okay.
The
Maybe like album
the
one.
album where
Actually-
Kanye dissed her.
Actually, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all something very honest. And I'm gonna ask y'all something very honest. Is Taylor Swift a quality artist?
No.
I don't really care.
Now, with that being said, is she talented?
Don't do that.
Talented, yes. Quality,
We're
no.
gonna do that again.
Nah, cause see,
Don't do that conversation to me again, bro.
1989 had bops on it,
I was talking about quality because
but
I the beholder.
I'm one of those people. Taylor Swift owes her entire career to Kanye West because up until that point, nobody knew who she was. Then all of a sudden, it's almost like this giant fuck you to Kanye. White people elevated this bitch into stardom.
What allowed her to switch over to pop so comfortably and so uber successful
Was Kanye.
is the people that Kanye brought to her beck and call.
Yeah.
So if that did not happen, she would have been stuck in a country lane. Because what country artist is just going to switch over unless it's now where it is a pop and rap dominated game? It wasn't so pop and rap dominated back then.
Yeah.
So Taylor having people that listen to that type of country music have no reason or desire to listen to someone of her. We'll call mediocrity. Of course, she's talented. Most artists at that caliber are talented, but we're not going to say she's.
I'm not saying she's not talented. I'm just saying she's not.
But I'm just
quality.
saying what the qualities that she had did not necessarily project well into the pop category. And pop is a widely more successful category to be into. Any artist should want to be in that pop will now rap, but any artist should aspire to be in pop or rap right now. You know, if you have the tools and talents to be in a pop group, I'd
I
rather do that
am
than
willing
rock.
to throw R&B into that way.
But that's at this
I
point
have a
I would
question.
say that's a race.
No. The reason why I say that is because as popular as rap is, there's more trash than quality.
That's true.
But when you're talking about R&B singing, take
There's a level of
take
versatility.
the kid Khalid. Real great singer, right?
He's indie pop.
But it's obvious that he has some living to do to become a true R&B singer.
That's why he's indie pop.
So you can get away with that. Same thing with Daniel Caesar. Everybody loves what her is doing right now.
They're indie R&B.
Emotional oranges, pink sweats. Like it's a lot going on.
Shout out they, because y'all brothers is talented as fuck,
Yeah,
and people be
the
sleep on
Division.
y'all.
It's a lot going on with R&B right now.
I would call-
my
wait.
bad, Lucky Day.
I'm gonna call they R&B though.
I would call all of those artists that you just named tippy-toeing along the lines of more. I wouldn't want to fully say experimental or fully say indie, but those are types of areas where they're kind of like gateways to different and more experimental types.
I tell
Also,
people
the chick Asian with her gay ass.
Music.
But that song,
music
Ooh.
and
Asian or Asian. Listen, she got a song where she's talking about this chick that she has a one night stand with. Listen, I want to be in the song.
I'm gonna say this.
You want to be?
Even though I understand it's about two women, I want to be in the song.
I feel like music, especially rap and R&B or hip hop, did a lot of what basketball did. Basketball today is not as clear defined role as it used to be. It's a lot of positionless ball, and these guys with an amalgam of talents that don't necessarily fit one particular role. Like, I feel like music did a lot of that too. There's very few people I know that sing now that don't rap, or rap and don't essentially try to do melodies and harmonize on the track because of whatever reason, because it sounds good. And I'm not knocking the quality of it, because some are doing it very well, some aren't. But I do see where there are things that are like just now, like I threw they in there, and then you were like, I don't want to know if I want to consider they that. But they sing a lot.
That's the thing though. Like with a lot of artists like experiment. Like it's hard to throw them into one like realm. Like you can't say like would you consider like Post Malone or like Future or like, or would you consider them rappers?
And see, that's the thing. I don't consider, a lot of people say Future is a rapper. I understand that Future has the ability to rap, but I don't consider him a rapper. I consider him a bad singer.
And that's what makes it weird. Like you can't, like certain artists you hear and you can't like really consider them rappers. Like when you coming up with like your top rappers, it's kind of like you got to think of who really.
I will say this. One of the things that one of the things my girl is highly critical of is singers, because her tops are the Brandys and the Whitney Houstons and the Monicas and stuff, like the people who they sang and they could sing, and a lot of times, even when I want to like try to put her onto something new, I gotta kind of like push it onto her, because almost every time her first listen she don't like.
They coming for her too.
But to be fair, a large part of this revolution has been and I won't outright say that the quality of production has just been better, but because of the legs of giants that we've created, Kanye, what he's done to experiment and set people up to be where they are, we've got these beautifully broad strokes of production that allow people to fit these roles. Without that production, you have people doing the things that they're trying to do with some 90s vibes and shit like that. Sure, it can work, and people do make it work. Daniel Caesar's done an amazing job sounding experimental and comforting for a 90s demographic. Fucking blue jeans, you know what I mean? That's called Japanese
denim.
But yeah, I got it.
I knew we knew what you meant.
You know what I was talking about. Yeah.
Japanese denim.
But
this is an incredible song.
It's an incredible song. Regardless of the shit he said, that was stupid.
The boy is talented. He's stupid.
He's just stupid. Especially when he's drunk. Which, we've all got talented and stupid people in our lives, man.
He also got a face for radio. Let me just say it.
Yeah, he does, man. Tom Joyner in the flesh.
That's funny as fuck.
But production has really pushed this whole revolution. You wouldn't have a guy like Post Malone be anywhere near successful without his, honestly, just, you might not like his production, but it's definitely exciting and entertaining in a new and fruitful way, Mm-hmm. And so it complements his voice in such an awesome way.
Taught you fruitful?
Huh?
Who taught you fruitful?
Nigga, I'm literate. So yeah, like, we're allowing for these different types of voices. You wouldn't hear a Trippie Redd in any other generation, period.
Right.
Because the production would never allow for it.
Right.
The vibe would never fit.
The vibes.
The fucking vibes, man.
Oh, ASMR break.
Oh, shit.
Daily dose of ASMR.
I'm still trying to figure out when y'all start this shit.
Wrap it around. No.
I need brother for like shit.
Oh, you talking about GB?
Yes.
That's my fucking dog.
Yes.
She fine.
This has been your failed ASMR break.
Oh no, we here.
We here? Okay.
Come here.
Hey, listeners. Are you singing Halo? Yeah. Do you guys hate when we do this? We hope you guys hate when we do this.
It's our title.
Not you, Hove. Hove, let us. Come on, bro. Just open it. Just crack the door for us, Hove. Let's let us in, bro.
This is Jordan. All right, this has been ASMR.
All right, so did y'all get y'all? Oh,
Hold on real quick. Let's pay some bills. As always, No Static Podcast. Remember to subscribe, rate, review, listen, and share with your friends.
And comments.
And comment.
Yeah, give me some goddamn feedback, my nigga. I don't never know when y'all be watching, man. Let me know what's up.
Send the links out, even if you want to go, hey, fuck these niggas.
Fuck these niggas.
Let me know your favorite moment.
But remember to subscribe, rate, review, share, like, comment. No Static Podcast. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcast.
Let me know what you like.
Okay. Just, you know what? Honestly, just go ahead, follow all of us, and send us a series of microaggressions in our DMs.
Let me know what you like.
All right. And
Tell me
back
how smart I sound for a black guy.
And back to the show. Cap.
Did y'all get y'all Endgame tickets?
No.
Yes, because I ordered them from the Marvel, but because we do $5 Tuesdays, I want to see if I can return them and get them for $5.
Wait.
I'm seeing the movie a good 3 times, so like I locked down my Thursday 6 o'clock ticket.
Endgame.
No, like to what theater?
CMX.
I'm at CMX 6 o'clock.
I'll buy yours.
I don't know. Think I could just. Well, I guess I could just send you the thing.
Listen, I didn't get them because I was in line for fucking 2 hours, and by the time it was my turn,
No, this is what I do. I told people
So
this.
that-
Why?
You try to do it through AMC?
no, I tried to do it to Fandango.
No, I got a question, and then this is what I don't understand about people, guys. When new movies come out, why do we do this to ourselves? We act like a bunch of guys, and finally one hot girl has just been put on staff for, and we all trying to fuck, and we all trying to be the first of it because we think that after if you don't go first, somehow this ruins it.
Listen, I'm owning up to it.
Stop.
I'm owning up to it.
This is a train. There is a set number you don't want to be. Number 3 and last.
Fair enough. The point I'm making, and that is, guys, just wait. Just buy a different. Like, listen.
On top of that, you don't want to
Tell
know
me,
the guy that said, hey, I'm gonna skip the line by
tell me the
pussy.
last time you went to the movie theater and it was fucking packed, and you were like, "Oh my god, I'm about to have a great time." Let me tell you when you like to see
We
movies.
used to do it in the summer.
Nah, that's different. We would go in and it wasn't packed.
It was packed.
No, when we be
We
moving
did all
happy.
those Thursday premieres, and
Tell
it was
me.
packed.
Let me tell y'all why this is serious business.
Because I really just want to do a Fallout 2 ticket. I want to go when it's night. I don't care. I don't want to go to see this movie while it's a club let out. And everything in here is having a reaction to shit they see it because they don't fucking read comic books.
That's the beauty of it. Like, look, let me tell you how my morning went. Like, I had 8 tabs over for AMC, and that shit was shut down like Dedication 4 dropped.
Oh, snap. Like those cushion orange juice?
Yeah, like, imagine that one mixtape dropping and the site just being, like, down. Like, it was like that. But ultimately, like, with AMC, I ended up at CMX. I ended up getting the last, that was in the back row because, like, the rest that were actually available, like, the first front 3 rows. And we all know how the first front 3 rows work. So,
It'd be fine if those first front three rows, they just incline. You could just incline to a comfortable angle. It'd be fine, but because you can't do that,
yeah, it's just a bad setup, like, all the way, like, being on them first 3 rows. But I had a fun time trying to get them tickets. I'm still trying to figure out, like, what time they went on sale because they didn't go on sale at midnight.
they went on sale between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. I know.
And they got, like, 3 a.m., like, showings for it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
They also doing this thing where for can see the first 22 movies, and then an hour before the first Thursday showing, you'll be just walking out of Endgame. But you have to sit through the previous 22 movies. I'm not doing that.
That's a lot. That's a lot of time.
I did that for Star Wars. Won't do it again. I won't do it again because I realized how many of the Star Wars movies are fillers and that I hate them. So of course, you know, there's a blogger. What the fuck are you doing?
Miles is completely tuned out of the conversation.
No, y'all don't like to see me completely nerd out.
But yeah, like,
whoa.
At this point with Endgame, I've already committed to a Sunday morning showing, and also possibly a Wednesday morning showing.
I'm seeing it 3 times.
Yeah,
like that's already confirmed.
Because I had to do that like
That's 9
like
hours
with
of
us.
Yes.
When I went and saw us,
Plus the
I
Well, actually,
purposely went with y'all because
9
I knew
hours
all
and
the
6
black
minutes.
people going.
Plus
So I
the
wanted to
credits
get
a lot.
the
9
black
hours
people
and
going
36
movie
minutes.
experience.
Why did?
And then I turned
minutes
around
average
and went and
and
saw it by
The
myself.
only extra thing will be the trailers.
So
Them end credits count in that like 3 hours and 2 minutes. If I know any better.
for everybody who's not used to a Baptist sermon, here are the tips that you need. 1, use the bathroom before the movie starts. 2, don't ask me no fucking questions.
I don't know the answers, leave me
Okay?
alone.
I am
Watching this
the
shit
movie
like you are.
at the same time as you are.
I'm trying to see
Baby,
what
who's that?
Thanos finna do.
Okay? That's the second thing.
Don't say shit about this dumbass Ant-Man theory.
Hey, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do
Did y'all watch Naruto?
Yes.
Okay, so I heard a theory where someone was like, so they're gonna get Kakashi, right? And Ant-Man's gonna sit on the top of his fingers, and he's gonna do the
butt poke thing?
the butt poke thing, and expand inside Thanos.
I hate y'all so much. I hate y'all so much.
So, speaking of things that happened around 3 a.m.,
I thought he was gonna say it. Speaking of Thanos,
Speaking of butt pokes,
did y'all see?
Listen,
my
you
God.
You're not grown enough for that.
Did y'all see? Did y'all see Irresponsible?
Of course not.
The Kevin Hart special?
is it on Netflix now?
It is
Since when?
at 3 a.m.
Today? Last night? Well, this morning?
last night. Yeah, this morning.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it tonight
All right,
then.
I'll watch it.
you still watching Kevin?
Oh, you didn't like it?
I have a question because prior to Kevin Hart becoming Kevin Hart, his stand-ups were funny, but his movies were trash.
Yep.
Now, since he's become who he is now, it seems like the movies are somewhat funny, but the stand-ups are trash. Yeah. Is that what happened?
I'm gonna be all the way
Hold on.
honest.
I think it's
I'm gonna
just
be honest with y'all.
Wait!
I think it's just fatigue.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I only saw half of it. But I didn't. But I'm gonna finish it later. But like, even though y'all didn't, do y'all want me to give my thoughts on what I saw so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stand-up is stand-up. It's gonna be funny to somebody.
Okay.
That's true.
It was definitely like it's through his previous stand-ups. It's always that one moment at least that you'll like laugh out loud
The
about.
quotable.
Yeah. On this one, I kind of just found myself like chuckling.
Consistently?
It's just like
Just on the couch, like.
it was like that. There wasn't like no laugh out loud moment that I've seen so far. It's just been like it's been like that so far.
Interesting.
I'm hoping there's more to it, but like I'm at that point kind of through it where it's like
No, it's not. Here's the thing. Saturation is a motherfucker.
Yeah, especially for
Especially in comedy. After a while, whether you like it or not, everybody relegates you down to a routine or a stereotype, whatever the case may be.
unless you die or retire.
it's kind of like we know what to expect. It's kind of like what you were saying before when we talked about Kevin, when we talked about Cat. Kind of like that same.
I had that
exact
same conversation there. Everybody was just like, man, Cat's so much funnier. And I was just like, nah. No, he's not.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask y'all. Do we want to jump into WrestleMania, or do we want to jump into?
Has WrestleMania happened?
It's happening this Sunday.
I had a something.
I didn't read this. 'Cause I have
Yeah,
idea
go
what's
ahead.
going on.
Okay. Do we want to jump into the match card?
Go ahead, because I have no idea what's going on.
Because you're the most. While we all watched wrestling, I've only recently gotten back into it, so I still don't know everything that's going on.
Yeah, like I haven't caught up to the story. I don't know what's the big play.
I don't know heels.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. Neither do I. Well, I know enough.
Who's the face?
I know that Batista. Okay, first off, my only gripe: no Undertaker on this match card.
I thought he retired.
Okay,
He technically didn't retire.
he did retire.
Right.
Well, he didn't like.
Because I thought him and Triple H had that match in for SummerSlam. Was that like last year?
That was like.
It was Hell in a Cell one more time at SummerSlam.
Is Randy Orton still wrestling?
Yeah, he's wrestling AJ Styles.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
That is gonna be good.
Because I'm going for Randy.
I'm going for Randy.
We all going for
Right,
Randy.
don't get me wrong. AJ Styles is
that dude.
He's a phenomenal wrestler, and he'll sell the fuck out of that match.
But he's not Randy.
Basically,
Dirty Randy.
Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
I'm going Seth Rollins just because fuck Brock Lesnar.
Bro, listen, not only
it's
that, but
just
as
a given.
big and strong and overwhelming as Brock Lesnar is, he's not cool to me either.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar is just like
A bully that they
ultimately.
bro, it's like he like the Mike Tyson wrestler. He like a wild ass pit bull, and they just like every couple of months they just bring him back.
But we all saw that Instagram clip of Mike a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going up against Mike.
Who, Tyson?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Yeah, wait. Were there people thinking that they could?
Yeah.
Yes,
Who?
bro. It's no part of me that would approach Mike Tyson with anything but peace and goodwill, bro.
Mike,
People don't understand how much better human beings are physically when they train to do something physically.
Yeah, like beat the ever loving shit out of you.
Like when they just train to do that.
here's my thing. Mike looked like he never lost a step.
Yeah, no. Fuck if he did lose a step. He's still like 7 steps faster than me. What you mean?
Like I saw that shit, I said, oh, the crazy part was he was giving somebody advice. So that wasn't even him serious.
He was just playing.
Man. People don't get how fast and strong and just generally more athletic these human beings are than us.
Niggas don't understand who Iron Mike Tyson was.
Fuck just I'm speaking broad, bro. Fuck just Mike Tyson. Yes, Mike Tyson was leagues above and just totally different. I'm not saying that wasn't the case. For even just a regular boxer that was at a professional level,
Will fuck you up.
Will fuck you up. Just on the basis that
Bro,
that's what they choose.
I know y'all watch MMA sometimes and see guys like, oh, I can whoop his ass. No, you cannot.
Punches look softer on TV screen.
Especially when the other person that they're hitting is another trained professional.
All right, my bad. Go
Exactly.
the cards.
Fucking idiot.
All right, so you got Triple H versus Batista.
Dead ass serious. I want to go Batista.
You already
That's
know I'm
gonna
going
be
for
a
Triple
good-ass
H.
match.
Not-
I want to go Batista.
But I'm sorry, bro. Batista is to do for is an actor now to me.
Yeah, see, back then I would have went for Batista. Now I'm kind of leaning towards Triple H. Even though that promo he cut was pretty fire when he was like he turned all the lights off. He was like, "Hunter, kiss my ass," and just walked off.
Listen, like I told you, it wasn't until recently I started appreciating Triple H, and just how like Triple H is probably like in the realms of Bret Hart for me. Like that just dedication to execution.
Which is weird because he's been wrestling since Bret Hart.
That crazy, yeah. But like just that dedication to execution, who matches that?
Exactly.
And you don't realize it until later on.
Side note, and this is been a long bucket list of mine. On the bucket list of mine, I would love to see the Dudley Boys again because it is on my bucket list, and it's just literally written down. I would just love to be in a setting where I could give one person in tandem with a friend a 3D, bro. I want to 3D somebody so bad through a fucking table, bro. It's a lot. Listen, bro. I know that shit is wild. I don't care if I'm the dude that do the neck breaker part or if I'm just the part that lift up, bro. I just want one time to be in a situation, bro, where somebody's being the fuckest of niggas, right? And I want to look at a homeboy and just go, Davon! get the damn tables.
You and
like that's what, bro. Listen, listen, and I want me to tell you what it is. I'm so scared to to achieve it one day because I think I might just die instantly after it. I think I might 3D somebody. We completely trashed that thing in front of a group of people, bro. And I'm gonna get up and go, and just fucking die.
Low key, you know what's funny? When I imagine that in my mind, okay? It might be just me, but do y'all think that JP look like Bubba Ray a little bit?
Slightly.
He can definitely be Bubba.
He can definitely be a Bubba Ray. But it's true, bro. It's just, bro, listen, that was one of the best tag teams I ever saw in my life, bro.
Outside of New Age Outlaws.
I always tell people there were several tag teams that were just like phenomenal. New Age Outlaws was incredible. Yeah. The Rockers.
New Age Outlaws. Who you say?
I said the Rockers. Heck, I'm gonna listen, niggas hit Kane and X-Pac. Bucket.
Hardy Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Edge and Christian. Like, there was some...
so smug about it.
But that's what made it better, bro. Same with you. Because I...
like, niggas might be too young for this one, but Harlem Heat...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I do remember Harlem Heat.
Y'all ever see that clip where he accidentally said, when Booker say nigga? He get mad because he was like, God, you almost supposed to say
Do y'all
that
remember when Vince McMahon said nigga?
Oh, my
Vince
God.
McMahon said nigga?
Yes, I'm surprised you don't find it on. You'll see.
And you know what'll probably make you even angrier about it? He said it to John Cena.
That does make me angry. Like, no offense, bro. No offense, Vince. You wasted a racial slur. Like, if it, like, you want me to tell you this? I thought you was gonna say he did it, and then he was talking to Booker T, and I kind of like, okay, you know what? It's probably hard not to call Booker T a nigga.
What's good in the hood? Just hold it down, trying to take care of business. Keep it up, my nigga.
I didn't think they had it on YouTube.
My nigga.
They didn't beat his ass? Bro, no offense, bro. Of all the ass whoopings that Stone Cold Steve Austin gave Vince McMahon.
He jumped with it. Why did he jump with it?
Bro, when I tell you, I had no idea that happened. They must have known, like, you know, we're not going to show this in this area. We're not going to show this in this area. We're not going to show this in this area.
They showed it on a pay-per-view.
Oh, you had to pay to see that shit too?
Listen, bro. Here's the bro. Nobody's calling for an uproar.
Bro, I didn't know until just now.
I want y'all to know, him and his wife support Trump. Nobody's calling for him to step down.
Yeah, Linda's a part of his cabinet. Well, she recently just stepped down, but she was like doing something in his like cabinet.
Yeah.
Like he was on wrestling one time. Trump.
Bro,
was.
you about to make me stop supporting the WWE now, bro.
Y'all think Captain America was racist before he went into ICE?
I will say this. I don't think he was racist, but I think when they unthawed him and he looked around and was like, it is really dark in here.
Okay, who the fuck are you?
I think what was probably blowing his mind, like, honestly, bro, I think the concept of Falcon continually like blows his mind.
He's just like,
I think every
time allowed to be one of us.
Yeah, like I think every time he goes, so let me get this straight.
They let you have guns.
First of all,
You lost to Eminem in a rap battle?
hold on.
Rap?
You're a pilot? Hold on, wait.
They have the Tuskegee area.
Hold on, wait. Falcon, I don't mean to ask anything rude, but are you allowed to walk through the same door as me to come in here?
Nah, the first thing he said was, "Where's the other water fountain?" That's 100% the first thing.
I'm about to say, what do you think was the first thing? What was probably the first like? It's not like it was Icebreaker from Captain America. Was it A, the first time someone black walked into the room, didn't pick up the trash and leave without saying anything? B, was it the first time he got on the bus and realized not only was the bus driver black, but most of the bus was black? And ironically, all the white people were in the back.
Homie got on the bus and was like, I like this seat. Was like, just stood over this black girl and she's just chilling there and he's looking at him like, what?
Or C, was it the first time he walked down the street, asked for directions, and a black person read a sign?
I'll take C for 500, Alex.
We got Captain America fucked up.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna say something, bro. After all the money I've pumped in tomorrow, bro, I'm allowed to diss that motherfucker. Let me tell you why, bro. Because I still don't agree with the fact that it be not world threatening shit. It be literally, not figuratively, literally universe and reality threatening situations. Right? They get Tony Stark. Okay, rich ass genius. I'm gonna make some shit. I got some dope suits. I can help. All right, they got Thor. All right, literally got a thunder. All right, we got Rowan off. Okay, I get it. Hot ass chick. We gotta have equality. We got Scarlet Witch. We got some mutants in here. We got Spider-Man. We got people with powers. Then they call this nigga who plays ultimate fucking frisbee, right? Alright? They call this thing who plays ultimate fucking frisbee and they act like the shit ain't gonna work without him. Okay? Then the
this?
Cap. That's what he does, bro.
Yeah.
Listen. He show up, bro. And let me tell you what makes me also mad, bro.
Well, if you have Romanov,
Every time.
it's fair to have Cap because he's
No, Cap is literally just one like NFL player. Like with a shield.
I think he's a couple steps above an NFL player.
Is he?
Bro, he was all right. Remember that Infinity War scene where him and Black Panther were running up, and it is physically confirmed that fucking Black Panther has powers, like legitimate powers. Captain caught him at least.
No.
Yes.
He never caught him.
He did catch him.
He was 5 steps behind him.
But what
like
I'm saying is, he
he
caught up to the speed he was running at. He caught up to the speed he was running.
5 steps behind him like a
He was
good
5
Muslim
steps
white
behind.
woman.
I think, and I'm gonna be honest with you, we all know that Black Panther probably was like, "Oh snap, bro, I'm fucking up the movie." And probably put that shit to a jog. Because here's the thing, bro. If we walk outside right now, and Thanos is fucking shit up across the street, right, and y'all three got powers, and I come back in the crib, right? And I come back out, and I got a mask, and I got a frisbee, right? I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm ready. No offense, bro. If you don't go sit your ultimate frisbee playing ass down, bro. Like, no. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, that's why every time Tony Stark just give it to him, bro, I just be laughing.
Okay, so you gonna go in on Cap, but you're not even gonna go in on a dude that just be doing archery shit in the background.
Oh, who? Hawkeye?
Yes.
Yeah, except because the nigga don't miss. Like,
The nigga don't miss it. Have you seen Cap miss a shield though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When?
Lots of times.
Matter of fact, didn't it happen in Civil War? I know it happened with Ultron.
Does anybody read?
As people know, bro, it's several heroes that I just cannot fucking stand, bro. Everybody knows I fucking hate Superman. Don't want to get all into it, but
Because
everybody
he's Moses with a
everybody knows how much I fucking hate Superman.
Also,
But
he's supposed to be black.
Number two, I hate fucking Luke Cage. There it is. I said it. Let me tell you why I hate Luke Cage. Because he is Marvel Comics had to give us Black Panther. They literally, during a time not too long after Jim Crow, made a black superhero whose superpower is not that he's super strong. He's not super intelligent. He has impenetrable skin and can take an ass whooping like no other. That's what Luke Cage does. He walks into a Harlem crack house, right? The gangsters immediately go to dumbass and wet Luke Cage the fuck up. Luke Cage don't got a single full functional shirt. All his joints is A shirts now. The point is, bro, every single piece of clothing, every single thing Luke Cage owns is Yeezy now, bro.
Yeezy collection.
He Yeezy everything, bro. They wet Luke Cage up from hairline to toenail, bro. The whole time, bro. He's standing there, taking shit. Then they go, damn, we out of bullets. Then they start picking up shit and just running up on Luke, bashing him with this shit. He's standing there, bro, because the whole time they fucking him up, he hear like fucking elevator music or some dumb shit. And then finally what happens is, after he finally like they tire themselves out because they done literally pulled shit out of the fucking floor, they just hit Luke Cage with. Finally, he grabbed like the leader, smack him around a little bit, and go, yeah, Luke Cage. Even when they get, like, no offense, bro, Luke Cage is such a bad hero, he had a hero name. It was Power Man, but that fucking sucks. So they let him, they was like, you know what, Luke, bro, all you gonna do is just get fucked up anyway, bro. Just use your name, bro. Don't even bother with the alias shit. They told a black man in Harlem who walks into crack houses, bro, just use your real name, bro. Just use your real name, G. Don't nobody give a fuck, bro.
You know what I'm saying, my there's an issue with Luke Cage with the antagonist was like, I hit him with everything, including the kitchen sink. And the next panel is him hitting him with the kitchen sink.
Bro, listen, not only that, bro, let me tell you what I would do, bro. If Luke Cage really wanted to make money, bro, like, listen, this is what I would pay Luke Cage, right?
Luke Cage would be the greatest spokesman for OxyClean.
Bro, he would be the greatest. If I was Luke Cage, bro, if I could, bro, I would hire Luke Cage to come to parties, bro, and we just jump that nigga. It's a win-win, bro. He gonna get paid, bro. We get to release him, bro. Like, he got, like, what I would do is, like, he gotta come in and we gotta really test the limits, bro. We gonna let him like come to the house, bro, and then call his cell phone and be like, hey, bro, we about to just blow that shit up. Bow! And just fucking explode the house and shit, bro. And if he come out in the flames all fucking tattered and shit and smoky and shit like that, I'm gonna be like, God damn, all right, Luke, next week. Next week, bro. Like, I'm gonna be trying shit on Luke, bro.
We'll have mustard gas.
I'm gonna wait till he had dinner with, like, visiting his mom in the hospital, bro, and I'm gonna just, like, wanted style sniper rifle at you, bro. Give him one of them good bro. One of them tricks when you do it, you want to record it on fucking Halo or Destiny, bro. I'm gonna give him one of them right in front of his mom's, bro. And when he go, Coop, maybe next week, like, all right, Luke, I'm gonna kill your ass eventually. Like, that's what I would do, bro. That's all I would pay him to do, bro. And he'd be somewhere out on a date, bro. And me and my homies, hey, bro, you in theater 12? Yeah. Let's go fuck Luke Cage up. Luke Cage up. Like, I wasn't like I cannot state how much I hate Luke Cage. The only hero I probably hate more than Luke Cage might be Superman.
Understandable. Okay, so Luke Cage, Superman, or John Cena?
John Cena.
Wait,
John Cena has bars.
It's still John Cena.
John Cena has bars. Come on, man.
Bro, I'm sorry. I still have to fuck John Cena up. I'm sorry.
John Cena has bars. Come on, man. We can't.
At least,
Hear me out, bro.
At least
John
What's
Cena.
your clinic line?
Johnson Cena had the WWF Championship turned into a G-Unit chain, and like the shit spun. Why the fuck would it spin? Name one time you saw a piece of jewelry and in your day and age and you went.
I have a question.
Hell yeah.
Is John Cena the original cultural appropriation?
No.
it was definitely Vanilla Ice.
Maybe even New Kids on the Block, I'm willing to say. We came out with Boys to Men, all of a sudden it was New Kids on the Block.
Possibly Elvis.
Never mind. Elvis.
Is Elvis the first rock star?
No.
The first rock star?
Barry Gordy is the first rock star.
Okay. Wait. Oh, yeah. He's black. Well,
I mean, Chuck Berry. I
the
was
first
Barry
white.
Gordy. I know you don't.
Okay, maybe Chuck Berry. Okay.
The first white rock star.
First white rock
Because
star?
Because the Beatles were before, they predate Elvis. No, they don't. Elvis was the 50s.
Yeah.
Beatles is like Summer of Love, 60s or something.
So it might have been Elvis.
Also,
Wait, country music. Who was the first country
Rock
music?
star, I might go with Frank Sinatra in the sense of if we're talking about how big and polarizing he was.
I don't think you have to be polarizing to be a rock star. I think there's a certain level of star power.
Speaking of music.
oh wait, we off on a tangent.
Yeah.
2 points I wanted to make. speaking of American heroes, when we talked about Captain America, Kurt Angle is also having his farewell match at WrestleMania.
What do you mean? I thought he was already not wrestling no more.
This is like his retirement match.
Yeah.
So, okay, so who's he wrestling?
Because Dad says Kurt Angle's actually been through a lot. Drug addiction, divorce.
What divorce? What the fuck happened to Kurt?
Kurt Angle went through a lot, bro. His story is like really sad.
All right, I gotta read about Kurt Angle. He was so fun to hate.
He was.
But the Angle slam would just fuck you up. Like I would like that, bro. Listen, I remember. I will never forget when he came in with that milk truck, bro. That was one of the best episodes ever, bro. Like they were. That's all I said, bro. And the sad part about it is, I'm gonna tell you because I realized I started this whole thing with the Dudley Boys thing. But back in the day, it was just like one, bro. It's just the idea, bro. Whenever they 3D'd somebody, bro, there was always a table available, bro. I feel like motherfuckers came to the ring, bro, with their homeboy on some. What the fuck y'all doing, man? The Dudley Boys wrestling tonight, bro. I'm like, and not only that, bro, but it's something about seeing somebody get 3D, bro. That's just fucking. It's just rewarding. Right now, you think I'm playing? Right now, everybody go on their phone right now and just look up Deadly Death Drop on YouTube and just see if you don't see one that you go, God damn.
Oh, what's everybody listening to?
Right, Deadass serious.
Victory Lap.
Victory Lap.
Victory Lap.
It's unanimous.
Victory Lap, Crenshaw, Awesome Boy 2. And which is crazy because, like, you know, not that I'm complaining, but I was definitely on this, like, real weird Most Def trip for the last couple of weeks.
Black on both sides.
I'm also listening to only the first Only Built for Cuban Link.
Okay.
I'm listening to Raekwon right now, so.
And I'm finna go through of all Styles P's albums after next month.
What? You thought I had Apple Music?
Yeah.
That too.
Oh yeah. Y'all know Nav got the #1 album
In the country?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had 78 first week.
Dad, is this music good?
No.
I mean,
Look at me.
to be fair,
Look at me.
he's not so he's like low key when his album came out. I when people ask me if I heard it, I just be like, it was playing.
Is he a rapper, a singer?
I would not consider him a rapper.
Can we move on?
He was that one. He was that one dude in Yosemite that was like, you barely heard.
Let's move on to the next one. That seems more relevant.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all listen to Billie Eilish.
All right. Shout out to Billie Eilish. She's
I have
very
no idea
talented
what
and
you're
young.
talking about.
She's this white girl. She's got very indie and rap and pop and R&B influences. She's all over the place, but this
So
last
basically,
project,
she's a mutt.
she's a mutt in the best way possible. Mutts be healthy as hell, bro. Mutts live for fucking ever. And I will always say that shit. And that's for genetic reasons, but I'm not going to get into that right now.
And My Strange Addiction is probably my favorite song on that album.
My Strange Addiction was very good. It had a bunch of Office references, which is going to hit home for a lot of people.
Right.
My favorite one was Zanny, which was a nice little bass-heavy ballad, which isn't a combination of a song that I'd say I'd heard before.
I didn't know Pink Sweats was from Philly.
Crazy.
That makes sense. But it's a bass-heavy ballad about not taking Xans to deal with your issues, which doesn't sound as preachy as you think it would.
I was going to say it's fun, but all right, cool.
Anyways.
J. Cole is executive producing a Young Thug album.
I'm actually excited for this.
I hope it's his debut. Let me say, I hope
I'm
it's
actually excited
his
for this
debut.
because J. Cole has been like living by his word and saying, "Hey, I want to reach back and be the bridge between the littles and the OGs." And whether we want to admit it or not, and whether you agree with his persona or not, Young Thug is actually pretty talented.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So his taste for sound is
and I'm thinking this executive produced Young Thug album by J. Cole is a product of the Dreamville sessions that happened about a month and a half ago.
That's also supposed to be dropping in April. Revenge of the Dreamers 3.
Dreamville killed 2018. They really did.
No kidding.
Nobody
Yeah,
dropped
yeah.
a bad project. Nobody dropped a project that was under a 7 to me
Okay.
in 2018.
Agreed.
So I'm thinking that that's where this is coming from. So I'm excited about this because I like what Young Thug did with his last project. I loved his collab with Wyclef on Carnival 3. So
Yeah, he Cole also executive produced the Swiss project. Him and Swiss, they executive
Poison?
produced Poison. Yeah.
okay, I didn't know that.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's about. I just hope it's his debut album because I don't want it to be like the debut album turned mixtape or turned EP or something like that. So I just really want Thug to like elevate.
Right. Because for some reason I feel like Young Thug should be bigger than what he is, and I don't know why.
I feel that his current weird hiatus is hurting him now.
Okay.
Yeah, even though he's around, I mean, but
Like, here's my thing. There's been a couple of Young Thug features that have come out lately. He hasn't missed yet.
he hasn't.
So I mean, I'm not saying that I'm a fan of Young Thug. I'm saying I recognize talent when I see it, and he just hasn't.
How do we feel about Birdman saying that Carter 5 should have been better?
Because it should have been. He didn't lie.
I can agree. I definitely think like
Some of the
Yeah,
songs.
but it's one of those things where we
Listen,
didn't
here's the
want to
problem.
hear
Here's the
yeah.
problem. The problem I have with Lil Wayne is the same problem I have with Nicki Minaj. You're older. Your fans have grown with you. I'm sorry, Wayne. You can't keep telling us about how you shooting guns and doing drugs anymore.
I feel like Wayne grew on Carter 5, even though it's not like what it was supposed
it
to
was
be.
really good
but
to hear him on Carter 5. It was really good to see that he hadn't really lost a step. What I'm saying is, as far as content as being something fulfilling, especially for what you had gone through to get to Carter 5, you had so much more to say that you just chose not to. And that was disappointing. Carter 5 should have been like, all right, everybody, Wayne to go. I'm out. I'm out. That's what I feel, especially given somebody's projection like Lil Wayne, who he literally, when the Cash Money Divide happened and subsequent breakup, he stayed working. He gave us the squad ups. He gave us the mixtape. We had the dedications. Then you got into the Carter series, like literally Carter 1, 2, and 3. You'd be like, okay, we see where he was. And then he went somewhere way left. And literally, I think Carter 3 is where you could pinpoint when the drugs got to him. But by the time we got to Carter 5, you're 37 years old, Dwayne Carter. Why are we still talking about doing drugs and shooting niggas?
I mean,
Even Nori ain't talking about doing drugs and shooting niggas no more, bro. And that's a doing drugs, shooting ass nigga.
and can drink you under the table.
Drink Champs. Shout out Drink Champs.
So, like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, where does Wayne go from here?
I hope up.
No, I think Wayne can. I feel as much as I hate to say it, Wayne could probably learn a lot from Currency. If Wayne did mixtapes, because here's what I haven't said out loud: Dedication to Reloaded is better than Carter 5. Carter 5's not bad at all. It's a very good album.
I just said I wanted more.
Right. But Dedication 6 Reloaded is insane. Why? Because he raps on there the whole time. Mm-hmm. And it's, don't get me wrong, he doing drugs and shooting niggas on a couple of joints, but on a lot of them, it's just, oh shit, you could just fucking rap.
Yeah, that was the beauty.
He just eat that big bad wolf shit is crazy.
But here's the problem I have with Lil Wayne is the same problem I have with Eminem. You rapping, you putting raps together. What the fuck are you saying?
But see, and that's why I told people.
I can agree.
We gotta realize something, man. When you rap, you've been spewing out words for years. Wayne got some 20+ years of spitting out words. What did y'all expect? What did y'all expect? Listen, I tell people, I said, what it is this, bro. I said, if it wasn't for the fact that now Ho, because of his lifestyle, rap more about, the art and things like that he's appreciated, and he's gained appreciating the things he's learned and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be honest with you. We on 3 albums of that shit now, Hov.
People killed Hov for that like whole art era thing that he was
Of
doing.
course.
Like with Magna Carta, Holy Grail.
And that's crazy because that album's crazy.
It is.
But what I'm saying is, Hov proved, hey, there's a lane for a 40-year-old rapper.
Yeah, but that okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Is it, or there's a lane for a 40-year-old Hov?
No. He proved it with a 40-year-old rapper because then turned around. Big Boy did the same thing. Turned around. David Banner did the same thing. Turned around. Rick Ross did the same thing.
Rick Ross is 40?
Yes.
He is?
Rick Ross is 40.
Now 2 Chainz.
Only 40?
2 Chainz, in his late 30s or early 40s, is doing the same thing. Nas is doing the same thing.
But see, and
Like,
that's a very good example.
And I'm putting this in there because you got somebody like Eminem, you got somebody like Lil Wayne, who we obviously are recognizing. Nigga, you can rap. Nicki Minaj, you can rap. What the fuck are you saying?
But that's what I'm saying,
I'm tired
guys.
of you doing drugs. I'm tired of you talking about your depression. I am tired of you talking about how good your pussy is.
Let me ask you
Tell
something.
me something about you.
This is back home. Let me ask you something. We're all gonna go buy the Wayne album where he attempts to rap about the same things Nipsey rapped about.
No.
Hold on. Are we all gonna go buy the rap album where most of the subject matter is about, let's say, female empowerment?
Probably not.
Are we all gonna go buy the rap album that he makes that's about, honestly, hell, let's keep it simple, just investing in your community?
I'm not saying do that. I'm saying there is a lane for Lil Wayne to tap into because just think about the 4 years prior to Carter 5. It was so much shit going on with Lil Wayne. How do you not talk about that?
He did touch on it.
He briefly touched it. How do you not talk about that?
But that's the thing. That's why I'm trying to get people to understand. You got an individual who, from a certain time and place, you didn't rap about those things.
Especially being that it was a legal matter at the time. Like, you're not just going to say too much.
And I feel you.
Why?
But I've been listening to Lil Wayne since 1998. The LQ in 1998 is not the LQ in 2019.
You're right.
So I'm expecting the Lil Wayne in 1998 to not be the same Lil Wayne in 20.
This is what happens. Some people
Literally, the nigga has been selling weed to me for 20 something years, and he has not moved up the coke. That's literally what's happening.
This is the thing, right? And I told people, and this is one of the things I had to note. I had to go, you know what? I never thought about it from that standpoint. Nas ain't changed. Nas ain't changed.
Nas hasn't changed, but his content has changed with him.
How?
Has it?
The content has changed.
I'm still waiting on how, because I'm literally like tapping into my mind like what I heard on Nasir versus what I heard on like a Streets Disciple or like
some of it has become less tolerable. Because I don't care what nobody says. This Nasir album was not good.
that was out at the bottom of the
Production's
Kanye
amazing,
like.
but
Production was amazing.
Right.
He got a couple because the sad part about it, the song he got on Swiss Beach Joint is better than that entire album.
Exactly.
and the sad part, the reason why, because that's the lane that Nas is in.
And that's what I'm pointing out to try to. Anyway, I'm not trying to say that these guys shouldn't try to do more in their raps or even say more, but I always reference this, bro. I don't want to hear Wiz talk about how he felt after the Amber Rose situation.
There's definitely some stuff just don't sound good with certain people.
I don't want to honestly, bro. I don't want to hear Wayne talk about the stripe of having so many baby moms and having to watch them like go out and do different things and how that's weird, that dynamic of him being a father. I don't.
I feel like everything that we saying like is stuff that I've heard from him before. Maybe he hasn't like said it like in depth, which arguably he probably did on the Free Weezy album because that was like his whole project of like for the most part, like reflecting on certain songs. But like, what is it that you would want him to discuss that he hasn't
Him.
said?
Him. Just him.
But what about him though?
Him. Like, I'm literally saying the same thing over and over. You went through so much. We saw you go through so much. And it's cool. Maybe you talked about it in an interview or whatever. But I would have rather seen Lil Wayne be like, yo, I'm going to put this into the music.
But he did.
He did.
They were mixtapes. Like, he didn't drop albums, but he dropped several mixtapes.
He did with the whole Cash Money situation, when that was at his peak, he dropped Sorry for the Wait 2. He made a lot of like references to what was going on with that. Like there, like just how he was feeling, what he was going through. That's kind of something that I kind of took from the Free Weezy album, was just like him talking about like him like and what he was going through during that time. It was mostly like you didn't really get too much of like him just rapping. It was him being like deep. Closing statements.
Listen, well, we didn't do it on this podcast, but there's a page. If not, still go follow our artist from last week that we discussed. Our man Jones, he's an incredible photographer. Yeah, go man, support, hold us down. We'll have links for y'all. See it. Outchea going to do the edits. Hopefully he gonna clear up some of the bullshit we was doing.
Also follow Doing Dirty Laundry.
Doing Dirty Laundry. Definitely got to follow Doing Dirty Laundry. But listen, eventually, y'all want to look like the person y'all imagine yourselves in the mirror. So, calm it down. Calm it down. Calm it down. All right.
I ain't got nothing, man. We just said everything.
Yeah, bro. Oh, and like I said at the beginning, bro, listen. Love your brothers and sisters. Invest in your communities. And honestly, stop hating.
Peace.
You gotta go like this. Finger flutters.
Beanee Weenee.
Beanee Weenee. Mike, you missed a check on that, nigga.